Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and run a machine strategy here. I'm going to cut out these just as a 2D contour. So I'm set it up. I'm going to come over here 2D and go to 2D contour. And I got to run through and fill these in. So first I'm going to click to this third one and the geometry. And I'm going to go ahead and select geometries that I want to cut. I'm going to select all four of those. If I look down, oops, I'm going to turn this one like this just so I can see a little better. But it did get that. Sometimes it doesn't get that, and you got to kind of click around. It's pretty adaptive, pretty smart to go and do that. So I got 4 closed chains. Next I'm going to do tabs. This will hold the machine part in place after it's cut, and you can free it up then so it doesn't get marred by the bit. That's a little bit much, so what I'm going to do here is I don't mind going by distance, but that's way too many. That'd be a lot of post-processing. I'm going to go from 2 inches to 7 inches. Take a look. Yeah, it's got one. I think that would hold it still. I might manually put one here and here. I just think it'll be better at the top and the bottom. Let's see. Yeah, I think, and if not, we can adjust our tab sizes and whatnot. So that satisfies me. I'm not going to worry about rest machining. I'm not going to worry about stock contours. I'm going to come back over here to tool. Alright, for my tool, I'm going to go ahead and select a tool. So the very top, I hit tool, I get a pop-up. I'm going to come over to milling tools, inch, and I'm going to choose a 1/2 inch end mill. Or I'm sorry, not a 1/2 inch, a 1/4 inch. I'm going to choose the 1/4 inch flat end mill. That'd be right there. That is 0.25 diameter. That's the flute length is 0.75. That's more than enough. And I'm going to go ahead and select that. And it'll actually put it on there and show that for the spindle speed. Spindle speed does not, I'm sorry, coolant. I'll disable the coolant because we don't have that on our CNC. Spindle speed's not going to matter. That's controlled in an ancillary fashion to our router. Surface speed, not worried about. Ramp spindle speed, not worried about. Okay, feed rate. I'm going to go ahead and give it a feed rate of 50. And if it turns out that's too fast, we'll slow it down. I'm going to leave the lead in, lead out feed rates, transition. Let's see, I want to plunge. I'll plunge it at about 20. Again, if it's running poorly, I'll adjust that afterwards. Multi-axis, I do not have to worry about multi-axis. I'm not running on multi-axis. Geometry's covered. Heights, alright. So what this has here, going to operate at the top. Clearance 0.6 inches, retract 0.2. I believe that is all good and fine and dandy. Yeah, that's not going to, that would be fine, just fine. Alright, so let's see, I'm going to have a clearance, retract height, it's just going to come 0.2 inches in, which I think is okay. We'll make sure the stock top 0 offset from that. I'm not worried about the bottom height. Here I could set this to make sure that I go through the plywood. I'll grab plywood at Home Depot here this evening or tomorrow when we're ready, and I'll make sure we have some in there. But if I wanted to go through a little bit, I could put negative 0.05 perhaps. And what that's talking about is making sure that I punch through the very bottom of it, and I'll go in my spoil board just a little bit. Go ahead and look at passes. Let's see. I'm going to leave out compensation right now. And then I'm going to look for multiple depths. So I'm not going to worry about roughing passes right now. I'll try to do it all in one shot, but I'm going to go multiple depths. And the maximum roughing, I'm going to make that, I'm going to make it, let's see, 0.26. 0.26. The reason I did that is that means it'll do it in 2 passes. I got to go to a total 0.5. So it'll go through and cut it in 2 passes. I'm going to go ahead and stock to leave. I'm fine. Smoothing, feed optimization. I'm going to hit OK. The only one I didn't touch was linking, which I'm not going to touch. We can take a look at that in greater depth as far as what that would do, but I don't need that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And now I have a 2D contour. So that is going to go in there and cut that out like that. I believe you can see the tabs are going to be left in there. I suppose I might have added a tab up here. I'm a little worried that's going to go, but I guess those are going to be cut together. I can go in here now and bring up my simulation, and it's going to show me what it's doing. And that isn't too terribly bad. I think that's okay. Alright, I will exit my simulation. Alright, so the last thing is now I need to make this ready for our CNC Shark. We'll cut this out on the small router. So I'm going to come over to my toolpath, or my cam strategy here, which I guess is a toolpath. I'm going to right click on that and hit post process. And this is where I have a post loaded up. So this is basically a script or a program that's going to convert the GNM code that's created by Fusion into a GNM code that's readable by my Shark. This might require you to share with me and just me do it on my computer. I'm not sure if we can download to your Chromebooks or whatnot. We might have a little bit of difficulty. But I'll gladly do this for you. So it'll be a tap extension. I'm going to name it. This is like cam example, and I'm going to post it. All right. So let's see if that posted. All right. Oop. All right. So I'm going to overwrite that. I was changing the name of that, but I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. Alright, and then let's see. So that's successfully posted. If I take a look in my, let's see, let's go to downloads, or documents, I believe it saved that, didn't it? Fusion 360, and see programs, and that right there. Let's go ahead and open that with Notebook or Notepad. File open. And I'll go Documents. And I'll go Fusion 360. And see Programs. I'll hit All Files. And let's take a look and see. Yeah. And there is the NC code. So, well, not all that much. Boy, it sure would take a little time to do this by hand. A little bit more than your initials. And please note it is pretty simple too. So, but this code now that can just be placed on the flash drive and put on the CNC. and that'll buzz out my pieces. We'll have a little bit of post-processing. We'll have to go through there, cut that, and sand the tabs off. But then these pieces will go through and create my box. So you guys will be back, you'll machine your piece, and then you'll take a jigsaw and cut that. We'll set up a flush sanding operation, and then you guys can put together your tool holders.